NBA Warriors 2023 are stealing the spotlight.
Recognizing the clock dwindling down. Knocks down the pool.
I get it. Warriors fans don't want their team to make any significant moves in the near future because they don't want to disrupt what's already been established in the roster. I totally get it. But what if I told you that you don't have to sacrifice a lot to receive some additional assistance? This is Sportsman Pro, where we delve into the world of sports, and we will be talking about how the NBA Warriors are stealing the spotlight in 2023. The Golden State Warriors are dominating the court and stealing the spotlight. When I give it some more thought, I realize that the Warriors aren't going to give up anything at all, and that includes Carmelo Anthony. Now that we've got that out of the way, feel free to start naming some of the issues with this idea. If I had to speculate, I would say that you are probably saying things like, no, he's too old, no, he won't fit, no, he's a ball stopper, and no, he'll stop the growth of the young guys. Melo has been the subject of criticism for the better part of the past half-decade, but if you'll excuse me, I'd like a moment to respond to each and every one of those criticisms that have been leveled against him. I am aware that Melo is not the same player he was for the Denver Nuggets or even the player who won the NBA scoring title back in 2013, and that he has moved around from team to team ever since he left the New York Knicks in 2017.
Continue to extend it more and more.
Oh, Carmelo's going to take a shot.
But the more time I spent thinking about Carmelo Anthony and the current state of the Warriors roster, the more I like the idea of the Warriors signing Melo as a contributing piece off the bench for several reasons. Although he spent the previous season playing for the Los Angeles Lakers, who were downright pitiful, Melo was actually one of the very few bright spots on that roster. As a sharply calibrated spark plug, in addition to playing off the bench for the Lakers, Melo spent a significant portion of the previous season as a member of the team's closing lineup. And despite the fact that his statistics aren't exactly star caliber, I challenge you to name another player on Golden State's bench who can bucket as well as Melo. Well, go on. Name one. Look, Melo was relied on heavily by the Lakers as a spot-up three-point shooter during the previous season. In fact, close to 55% of his total shot attempts were threes. And if any of you are old enough to remember Melo when he was at the height of his career, this man was a lethal mid-range scorer and someone who was so gifted that they could make a living from 15 or 16 feet away from the basket. Melo's stats from the previous season look something like this for a span of 36 minutes. 18.2 points with 7 rebounds and an almost 38% shooting percentage from three-point range. Okay, so is he old? A little. Does that imply that he is not competent in any way? Never in a million years. Alright, so a good number of you have probably already come to the conclusion that Melo does not belong anywhere. To begin, that has never been the situation in any way. This idea gained traction in Oklahoma City a while back when Melo was held up as the scapegoat for OKC's troubles, and how the big three of Russ, Melo, and Paul George failed to live up to their potential. And what transpired with the Thunders in the year that followed Melo's departure? They reached the same point in the season as they had been when Melo was on the team. Melo had a renaissance while playing in Portland, where he was joined by Damian Lillard and CJ McCollum, and he was actually the team's second best player for some stretches of his time there. But that team was never really a contender to begin with. Melo demonstrated that he could play with anyone by playing consistently alongside LeBron, Russ, and Ed, three players who require the ball to be effective. Now let me ask you a more pertinent question. If Melo was still a scoring machine on that Lakers team from the previous season, what do you think he will be capable of doing on a team that shares the basketball better than any team I have ever seen? Curry and Thompson might just be the most unselfish stars the league has ever seen, and Melo leading the troops off the bench in front of some young developing players on the Warriors might just prove to be a brilliant move, dare I say a golden move. Yes, I am also attempting to convey the idea that he does not function as a ball stopper. Melo's shooting percentage of 41% from the corner three-point line during the previous season was among the best in the league, which is a strong indication of his ability to spot up and shoot the ball on a consistent basis. Simply put, he doesn't get in the way and can catch and shoot with the best of them, which is a formula that works perfectly for the way things are set up in Golden State. And you're telling me that scoring artists like Melo can be had by the Warriors for just a couple of $1 million? Why not try to sign Melo, who is still available after all these years on the free agent list? Moreover, when players such as Otto Porter Jr., Gary Payton, and even Nemanja Bjelica come to mind, along with the fact that the Warriors have lost a few quality spark plugs, it is hard not to feel a sense of loss. Off the bench, I really believe that Melo would be able to slide right into really any position coming off the bench, and he would give the Warriors an additional dimension to their already dynamic scoring attack. If the Warriors do decide to bring Melo, the one potential drawback I can foresee is that it will be difficult for him to compete for playing time with the young stars already on the team. In point of fact, it would appear that the Warriors are hell-bent on giving their younger players more of a featured role and increasing their playing time in order for this team to keep improving as the years go by. And this is especially true as players like Stephen Curry, Klay Thompson, and Draymond Green enter the later stages of their respective NBA careers, which would mean that playing Melo for roughly 20 minutes off the bench could mean that he'll cut into the minutes of another rising talent. Melo's minutes would be reduced because of this, and doing that is probably not something that the Warriors have any interest in doing at all. However, despite everything that has happened, the Warriors continue to be a dynasty. They continue to be contenders for the championship the following season, and Stephen and Klay, along with Jordan Poole and Andrew Wiggins, are all playing at an extremely high level, which means that if the Warriors manage to pull off a repeat of what they did last season and make a reappearance in the NBA Finals, that's where you have a guy like Melo. Mainly due to the fact that he is not only one of the top 10 leading scorers in NBA history, but also one of the best players to ever compete in the league. There was a good reason why Kuminga, Moody, and the rest of the young guys didn't get much playing time during the NBA Finals of the previous season, despite the fact that they are all good players to have. One word: experience. In the most recent NBA Finals, if Melo had been on the Warriors team that just won the championship, I'm willing to bet that he would have averaged at least 25 minutes of playing time per game during those playoffs. In the most recent NBA Finals, if Melo had been on the Warriors team that just won the championship, I'm willing to bet that he would have averaged at least 25 minutes of playing time per game during those playoffs. Furthermore, as long as the Warriors are still contenders and the Big Three are still performing at an all-time level, adding Melo to the mix will ultimately deliver more firepower for a Warriors team that is still developing its young players. And what about the feel-good story about Melo finally capturing an elusive title that his all-time great legacy is so noticeably lacking? That is without a doubt the pinnacle of all possible ways to disappear into the sunset. If I were Bob Myers, I'd be dialing Carmelo this instant. If you enjoyed this video, please make sure to smash the like and subscribe button. We will see you in the next video for more insights from the sports world.